202 is the number to send your comments and your questions, and we'll be glad to read them and to help you understand this topic much more from the perspective of our guest in the house. We'll move on straight for today's edition, and I'll first start with the lady who it's been a while. Good evening, madam.
Good evening, Albert.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Okay, so as usual, as we do it here, we would like to know you a bit more, your background, where you went to school and all that, just to get to know you a bit more before we even look at the topic for today's discussion.
Okay, thank you very much, Albert, and it's good to see you once again. And so my name is Henrietta Duho. I have 18 years banking experience.
Wow.
And an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Bankers. In the past 4 years, I have worked for Universal Merchants Bank as the manager responsible for service.
Class 91.3
customer
FM.
service quality and customer service. I must say it has been an exciting experience. And the key responsibility I have is to manage and implement quality systems in the bank, and also to coordinate activities in order to ensure excellence in customer service delivery. And the other task that I'm responsible for is I'm the customer recourse officer. I act as a liaison between my financial institution, which is UMB, and the Bank of Ghana. I must say I have just followed my passion into customer service and customer experience, and I have enjoyed it so far.
Back in school, did you plan to be in this area or in this field when you were in the university?
Well, not exactly, but in my previous experience, or in my previous working experience, I did a lot of retail banking, but I always excelled when it comes to the area of service. Because like most people will say, in fact, if the sales and the marketing doesn't go right, something should go right for you. And so I kept excelling in these areas. I kept receiving awards in customer service areas. So then I realized that is where my passion is, and so I veered into that area.
Okay, wow, that's wonderful. And how difficult has it been in 2020 with the coming of COVID-19 for what you do at UMB? How difficult has it been for you trying to navigate your way? Did you see this coming?
Albert, thank you very much for the question, but obviously nobody saw this coming. And if we did, maybe we would have planned for it, but nobody saw it coming. But I must say that it takes leadership for you to notice, because if the wind blows in a certain direction and you can't change the wind, you might have to rather change your sail. So customer experience has been a bit challenging, but it's up to a leader to immediately notice what the changes are, and the fact that the pandemic has affected everybody. Our work lives have changed. Our very lives have changed. The way we do things have changed. Likewise, our customer needs have also changed. So customers' concerns have shifted. They are now looking at security. They are now looking at safety. They are now concerned about, do I have to move into the banking hall, or there's a better option for me, or there's something else that I have to do. So yes, our customers' needs have changed, and it has made 2020 a bit more challenging. But like I'm saying, with the kind of top leadership that I work with, we've been able to identify the changes quickly, and we have put in place a lot of actions in order to make sure that we are meeting the changing needs of our customers. Wonderful.
So just as you mentioned about the changing needs of the clientele base, how has the pandemic brought changes into customer service, specifically at UMB? And how have you been able to navigate your way to the top in this whole scenario?
Okay, so most people have described this pandemic as a humanitarian and an economic crisis, and it's been devastating. And so customer experience has also taken on a new meaning and has taken on a new shape. And it's important that as leaders or as head of service quality, we quickly would have to move into that space and make sure that we are providing the needed service. And so some of the critical actions that we have had to take is first with our employees. And employees are always at the center.
Yeah.
And so we have to make sure that the employees are safe. So PPEs have been made available. The banking halls have become more safe. We have social distancing stickers on the floors to make sure that the employees are safe, because they come first.
Yeah.
And our HR has been on top of this issue so far. With our customers, we have done quite a number of things to minimize the risk of physical interactions as much as possible. And so we have, what we have done is we've done a lot of communication and actively moved our customers to use our online channels. Because a lot of things are happening now. Medical officers are providing medical treatment online. Gyms have resorted to workout sessions online. Schools are having to run e-learning programs. And likewise, as a bank, as UMB, we have also actively shifted our customers to our online channels, which is our internet banking platform, our UMB mobile app, our ATM, so that they can do business in that area. Secondly, we have also been very pragmatic with helping with customers who are in financial distress, because once the customers are feeling safe now, now stability and security will be an issue for them. And so we have introduced products that help with their financial security. And our controller loans is one of the things that we have introduced, and it's a secure loan for all salaried workers who work with the Controller and Accountant General's Department.
Wow.
So that is what we have done to support our customers. There are a number of things, a lot of regulatory reliefs that we have also given. I'm sure my team member Miles would add a few of the other things, but these are a few of the things that we have done in UMB.
Wonderful. This is the South Africa Radio program brought to you by Leg Group in partnership with UMB and all our other partners, HMI Management Services, your investment partner. And this evening we are talking about customer service, and we've been talking to Mrs. Henrietta Dohun, who happens to be the manager, customer service quality, UMB Bank. And we also have another guest, Mr. Miles Hagan. Good to see you, Sir Miles.
So Albert, always an exciting time to see you.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So Henrietta spoke about the changing trends of customer needs, and you sitting from as head of channels, then it technically means a lot will also rest on your shoulders. How has the channels, are you seeing more activity on the channels? Has your work increased over the period, and how have you been able to navigate your way through the pandemic?
Yes, that's a very good one. I would indicate that from the main COVID time, we had to do double the work we were usually doing. And the key thing was all the channels had to be live, especially since certain branches may not be fully functional or closing time had to be amended, especially Saturday banking.
Yeah.
So we had to ensure from the morning to as late as whatever time, all the channels are functioning. Speed Up is working flawlessly. ATMs are running, which meant we even needed to ensure that at least all the terminals have enough funds.
Yeah.
So constant loading, internet banking on point, and then customer recourse mechanism. So in case a customer had a feedback, either to send a message through our social media platforms, etc., a team was on standby, ready to engage and then cascade down. And I would say the contact center team, which is under Henrietta, did a lot to ensure that any pain point was rapidly addressed by my team. And it's been so good. It's sustained itself. And even now, we have a lot more to do because we are moving into enhanced virtualization of our digital platforms, which means you are looking beyond what we have to get into a point where before the customer expects anything, we have it ready and can push to the excitement of the customer.
Wonderful. So I just want to find out, on the UMB Speed App, are you able to open an account?
That's a good one. Yes. So we have a wallet account which can be easily opened 24/7 by anyone. And in terms of access to it, it's fast. We've added a special component of an interest earning element, so you can get very attractive interest once you have that. We are actually working on deploying our USSD, which should be ready before close of year. And the intent is to make it possible for you to open an account and even add to your existing pool of accounts. So you may have a savings account, you've been thinking of adding an additional account because you love UMB services. We're going to make it possible on the Speed app and then also do likewise on our USSD. The internet banking is also going to have an additional component to make it possible for all these functionalities to be included. And on our website, we'll also have a flawless way of opening accounts. And these are all part of the long-term strategy to ensure not just our existing customers, but new customers, especially those listening to us now who may not have accounts, who have heard UMB so often and are thinking, I think today is the time. We want to make it possible that if you think about today, you can open your account today with no delays.
Wonderful. You can open your account today with no delays, and that is made possible by the UMB Speed app. Just pick your phone and download the UMB Speed app. Is it still internet free?
I know the data free campaign was for 6 months.
Okay.
But just watch this space. Possibly in December, we'll do something to our customers. I would say it really caught a lot of attention when we did the data free.
Yeah.
And it helped because you may be totally out of data, but you can still open the app and then do some purchases, which made it good for everyone. Yes.
Let's talk about job losses in this period. Have you had a situation of some of your team members losing their jobs, or have you had to add on to the team? And even most importantly, the skill sets of the team members. How has it changed in this period?
Oh, that's a nice one. I'll say by God's grace, we have been able to sustain our team. So most staff are still working, and like I mentioned the previous time I was here, we actually put in place certain rapid actions. So we enforced working from home, which made us run a shift system. So staff could actually be safe by working, and that supported a lot of our team members to at least keep their jobs. In terms of work improvement, I would say that's really helped. And even now, the focus is more on pushing customer service excellence. So regardless of your position, you could be a frontliner, maybe a salesperson. You may not be able to go and visit your customer due to COVID, etc. But you can use our electronic tools. So you can call the customer, email, engagement. And we've had a number of very exciting forums which are all done virtually. You could also be a back office person who augments the efforts of the frontliners. So you are not just there waiting for someone to come in and then process a check, but you are also calling our customers, maybe the inactive customers, and then encouraging them to come and then actively open accounts. So it's been a symmetry around all these fronts. Yeah.
So Mr. Egan, how important is digitization in improving customer service?
I would say it's very critical. And the times you are in, I would say even before COVID, one very good thing that the bank initiated was to enhance our team's engagement, which was a virtual platform which made us even start having meetings online. And this was as far back as last year. So when this year we had certain challenges and you couldn't be meeting physically, it made it possible for a lot of team members to actually be in the comfort of their homes. And then you can even get our MD engaging the entire bank on a weekend to actually train us on certain initiatives to enhance our service delivery. And that showed the power of technology. Beyond that, even now, customers are able to engage. So customers can send feedback, positive, negative, and all that comes through our system for Hetty and team to realize, and then they work at it. So I would say digital is the future. And if you're able to embrace it now, especially understanding its functions and can use it effectively, you can definitely sustain your customer excitement.
Wonderful. So Madam Henrietta, what are some of the practical steps that business can take in these times to position their customer service? And even more importantly, what are some of the steps UMB has taken to be able to get more closer to their clients, understand their needs? I mean, I'm just thinking on top of my head, if somebody wants to clear a check and doesn't want to come to the banking hall, is there a channel, is there a means that that client can still clear that check without walking to a banking hall?
Okay. So at UMB, a number of actions have been taken, and like I said, we have actively moved our clients towards the digital space, and we have encouraged them through a lot of communication to use the digital channels. and the fact that they'll be able to use their ATMs, they'll be able to use their our UMB speed up to do a number of their transactions that they don't necessarily have to come to the banking hall to do. And then our internet platform is also available. So these are some of the things that we have put in place. And we also do have financial support for our customers as well. We have been very engaging, and during a crisis period like this, is empathetic engagement with your customers and genuinely showing care is what will carry you through and make sure that your customers are loyal now and even after the COVID. And so that is what we have actively been at. Quite recently, our team responsible for SME banking organized a virtual session for over 200 of our SME customers, just to engage them, to understand them, and to answer all their questions. It was under the theme digitization in a very destructive environments like this, how they'll be able to succeed. And even after that engagement, our contact center had followed up with phone calls, because it was a virtual platform, and everybody will not have the chance to bring in their concerns. And so we have followed up and engaged each of these individuals who attended the session and picked up their concerns and helped them. And there were a few who were even aged and who had a phobia when it comes to the usage of our digital channels, and we have actually aided them and run them through the process of using our UMB speed up. So yes, we've been up to the task. We have engaged a number of our customers to genuinely show concern and care. So this is not certainly a marketing tool. We are not calling the customers because we are selling a product to them. We are just calling the customers to show genuine care. So these are some of the practical things that UMB has been doing, and I would encourage all organizations and businesses to follow the same steps if they have not done that.
Wonderful. So you and your team, have you had to work from home? This whole idea of working from home, how has it how has it been with regards to the customer service team at UMB?
Okay, thank you very much, Albert. Yes, I, as the manager for service quality and customer service, I've worked from home for about 2 weeks. And nothing has been hindered. I've been able to engage with my team. Most of our meetings are via Microsoft Teams. I've been on all my meetings. I've been able to do branch monitoring, because we are having to do branch monitoring virtually. I've been able to engage all the branches. I've been able to organize my service council meetings all by Teams. So I have been able to work from home, and it has not hindered my performance at all. My team, that is the contact center team, have had to be on ground because we had not prepared for them working from home. But that is a consideration that we now have, and we are putting in place to make sure that it's possible for them to work at home. But during the lockdown, the contact center team was on ground. But I have been able to work at home, and it's been very seamless. Wow,
this is the Success Africa radio program brought to you by Leg Group in partnership with UMB and HMI Management Services. And we've been talking to Madam Henrietta Dohum, Manager Customer Service and Service Quality at UMB Bank, and Mr. Miles Hagan, Head of Channels, UMB Bank. We've been discussing customer service, reshaping customer experience amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, and they've been sharing what UMB have been doing over the past few months on some new changing trends. So for you out there, if you are looking out for a bank that can help you navigate your way in these times, why don't you link up with UMB? Just find them on the Play Store. Just download the UMB Speed App and get to experience their world of banking. They have wonderful products that can help you in these times. If you want to connect your mobile money to your wallet and be able to do seamless transaction, then download the UMB Speed App, and on the go you'll be able to experience the world of banking. Mr. Mao, so just let us know a bit more about some of the step-by-step approach that clients can get to experience the UMB Speed App.
Okay, sure. Thank you very much. So for existing customers, the process is to download, like you rightly mentioned. So you go on to any of the stores. We are actually on Windows Store, Apple iStore, and then on Android Play Store. And once you download the UMB Speed App, which is what you type, you'll be able to get the initial interface. and then you go to self-register. You'll be expected to self-register as a UMB customer, and the requirements are very, very simple. So we need to at least confirm you are you. So your account number is critical, your phone number, your date of birth, and then your ID, and then that should, you just accept the terms and conditions, and then you are in. For anyone who is not a customer, like I mentioned, we've started with the UMB wallet, and the intent is to create an account which is in your pocket. So once you have your wallet, you can put all the money in there and then execute transactions. So for that, there's a need to at least KYC you more elaborately, since you are not an existing customer. So we'll also take your name, date of birth, your identification, terms and then conditions must also be accepted, and then would do a back-end verification. So most of the time we'll need to at least confirm that the ID provided tallies with the name, date of birth, etc. Once that is done, you would receive a text for both of them. So you receive a text which will indicate your transaction PIN and then your login PIN. Your login PIN is what you use to access the app. So you would either see at the top of your user ID being, if you're a wallet customer with no UMB account, it's going to be your phone number that will appear there, and then use your login PIN to access the service. If you're a UMB customer, then your customer ID would come at the user ID interface. You also put in your PIN, and then you can access the service. And the transaction PIN is a second authenticator, and that's what we've done to at least ensure that the app is secure. And I'll advise every customer, either UMB or yet to join us, or any existing customer, always ensure you keep your PIN very secure and safe. There have been instances where people have their Visa card or China Union Pay card or MasterCard, and in that same pouch there's a certain paper which has the PIN number included. It means if your card gets lost, anyone who takes it will hit a big jackpot. So try and avoid those instances. In the same way, if you have your phone and your transaction PIN and login PIN, try to avoid putting it in a certain part of your phone, maybe as a text message to yourself. It's easy for anyone to access it. So just try and then memorize the number and then keep it safe. And what's critical is track all transactions. There have been instances where customers complain that he never did this transaction, etc., only to realize possibly his access had been compromised. So we try and then do this dual factor authentication, which is the login PIN and transaction PIN, to secure the banking service. In terms of the available services on the app, you can push varied requests, statement requests, checkbook requests, etc. You can request for bank assurance. You can also execute scan and pay, which is the latest addition, where you can scan and then make a payment on the spot. You can also process a cardless request where you don't need to use your ATM card to actually transact. You can actually prepare an e-token, go to the terminal, enter 3 credentials, and then you'll get your funds immediately. You can push funds. You can also pull. So you can actually move funds from a Momo wallet into your account. You can also move funds out, make multiple bank transfers to other banks using interoperability. And it's just exciting. And I would say the best bet is try Access UMB Speed App, download it, try and then get through by putting in the correct credentials. And once you see the interface, you'll be excited. Even before you log in, you'll be able to see all our bank branches. You also know our contact information. So possibly want to find more about our products and services, you can go on the front interface and then contact us. You speak to Henrietta and team, and the voice you hear would excite you to know that you've called the right bank, and then you can do more banking with us.
Wonderful. I want us to talk about the issue of fraud, even in these times where people are getting to do a lot of digital transactions. Yes. How are the customers of UMB secured in that area, and what are some of the further measures that have been put in place to ensure somebody doesn't pick my card or pick my PIN and access my funds without me knowing? I mean, there have been instances where I've had some clients complain of other institutions, not UMB, but to say that they've seen an alert on their account, but yet they didn't initiate any transaction.
Exactly.
What is UMB doing to secure the clients?
Wonderful. That's a very good question. And I would say in these times, it's become very critical. We are moving into digital, but realize the awareness of many customers about security and safety is minimal. As a bank, we have done a number of interventions where we send multiple messages, either push notifications to those with speed up, text messages, email alerts, etc. Now, I would advise every customer that in these times, keep your PIN and password safe and secure. In case you get a call, either mobile money or any other transaction where someone calls to say there's a certain campaign being run and you need to enter your PIN, immediately disregard those calls. A number of feedbacks we've had are in line with certain campaigns, certain promotions, and even from the telco end, you won't get anyone from any of the telcos calling to advise or educate you to do something, and will call you to actually indicate what your transaction PIN is. So any call that would require any PIN being provided to a third party, it's automatic that is a fraud. So try and avoid those instances, and you should be more probing. Don't be willing to immediately pass on your password or PIN to anyone upon inquiry. The other bit is, in case you get a pop-up on your mobile wallet, and it happens so often, possibly you would be there, maybe relaxed, and then you get a pop-up on your screen. Kindly confirm by entering your PIN. If you know you have not processed, pushed, or you are not expecting any such transaction, cancel the request. Don't put in your PIN. I remember in August we ran Momo Month. It's part of what partner banks of MTN did, and fraud was high on the radar because a lot of these fraudsters have become very tech savvy, and they're using the best of campaigns. So someone will call saying he's from the local language subsidiary of the telco network. Meanwhile, it may not exist, and they say it so nicely you may think you're actually talking to someone. So take it from us, from the bank, from the telco, you won't get anyone asking you to provide your PIN to confirm any transaction, even with your card. So if you hear any such dialogue, just cancel it. And as I sum up on this, what is most important in these times is always check, double check, and triple check in case you have any doubts. And in case anything happens, maybe you inadvertently confirm the transaction, on the speed up, there's a contact line. Quickly engage us. If it's also on any of the telco ends, quickly engage them. Let them know so that they can block, because every minute counts. Yes.
Wonderful. This is the Success Africa radio program, and I've been talking to two experts from UMB discussing about customer service experience amidst this COVID-19 pandemic, and the UMB experience and how you can get to experience their services much more, even in these times and this period. When we come back from this commercial song, we would also like to pick the thoughts of Henrietta on. Now, it looks like some banks are closing a bit earlier, and clients are getting to complain and say, I was thinking I could come in at 4, but now some are closing at 3:30, some are closing at 4. Those who used to close at 5 are now closing at 4. Now Saturday banking is no more. People are getting to find out, is it going to remain the same or they should expect some changes. Let's take this song. When we come back, we'll discuss this and more, and also get to send in all your questions to 0500,000 202. A number of questions have come in already, and when we come back, we'll let our guests answer these questions and we'll continue with the program. Stay tuned.
This is Class 91.3. Class 91.3. I'm
ya going to win some. As you see, what you do. What you can do, you do that, or the way you do the phone. So the phone practice with the phone, I want to guide you. This is what you do. What you can do, you do that, or the way you do the phone. So the phone practice with the phone, I want to guide you. Chabi mame una meleka na yawo de na meleka. I'm going to win some yeli na na yaka. Iti bede basa bingi na o yame yame na. Oya senchina me basula mini baby da. Same yari party na yame na wasam yade au de ova yame wa o sela. Washe gesi bobo hacho no de ova yame wa o sela ma. Wati beti boji goke mama atafu wenya soya. Mama na yeshene maya no no. Mama wakada yame ya sono na wa yino akuida ya no no. Mama una meleka na yawo de na meleka. Abantu mwenza miyeli na meleka. Asisi siko shomuku. Wakikade mwini na mente ono. So the same practice is what I want to guide you. Asisi siko shomuku. Wakikade mwini na mente ono. So the same practice is what I want to guide you. Shaya better habia gabaya no long time. Listen, Mesha Shaya befara habia gaba for no long time. Whether Mesha Shaya better no waya gabaya then. Listen, Mesha Shaya befara no ogua gaba for that. Now this is what you better do you know.
Welcome back. This is the Success Africa radio program on Class 91.3. We are inspiring excellence, and just be reminded that we are about to hit the road show again. That's the Success Africa road show, taking you to about 10 regions of this country, starting from the 26th of September 2020 from the University of Cape Coast through to Kenya University, to University of Ghana, to the Accra Technical University, and other universities in this country. You just want to be part of this roadshow where you get to meet all our resource persons that have been in the studio with us over the last 3 months since we started this broadcast. You want to come and have an interaction with them, come and engage them on various topics. The theme for the program is the next level, and registration is free. Kindly register on www.successafrica.com and also on www.leggroup.com and get to be part of the Success Africa Roadshow. Ajua from Medina says, I've benefited a lot listening to the team from UMB, and I would like to be a customer of UMB. Confidence from Nsawam says, I'm a customer already and I want to experience the UMB speed up since this will be my first time downloading the app. Efo Kwabi says that good conversation. I'd like to know a bit more about customer service experience in these times. So, Madam Henrietta, we are back again, and we would like to look at what are some of the effects of COVID-19 on customer service from where you sit.
Thank you very much, Albert. And like I mentioned initially, customer experience has changed. It's not just the other functions who have to change their approach. For instance, HR has to change their approach, Treasury will have to change their approach. Things are happening in the other functions, but customer experience is no longer a nice to have, because there's a lot of things happening, and customer experience is also impacting positively on profits. A lot has changed. Customers are now concerned about safety. Customers are concerned about security, like I said initially, and customers are concerned about their convenience. So now anytime they want to take a purchasing decision, they are thinking of where to purchase, how to purchase, when to purchase, when that was not the case. Because they want to be sure that where they are going to effect the purchase is safe. How critical is the purchase? The item that I'm going to purchase, can it wait? It's all because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Hitherto, that was not things that customers were concerned about. And so, yes, a lot of things have changed, and our customers' needs have also changed. And so what leading brands like UMB has done is to reorient our customer experience efforts towards meeting these needs. Other than that, then we are not working for our customers. And like I said initially, we have put in a lot of actions with the hope that these actions will help us to maintain our customers now and in the future. And so we've made financial provision for customers. Our banking halls are safer than how we used to be. We've engaged in a lot of empathetic engagements, like I mentioned initially. And we've done quite a number of things. I think in your earlier submission, you had also mentioned something about opening and closing hours.
Yes.
And about the fact that customers are complaining.
Yes.
I believe organizations and businesses are responding positively because you want to limit the physical interaction.
Okay.
And so it's of no use for banks to extend their working hours up to 6 or retail shops to extend their working hours.
You know, the challenge has been with the cash. You have people who still want to do deposits at certain times. So first of all, I'd like to find out, how has your banking hours changed, and how does somebody who has physical cash, who wants to transact business with you, can still get to do that?
Okay, so our working hours has changed. Our banking halls are now open up to 4 p.m. But hitherto we were doing up to 5 p.m. And we have not just effected this change, but we have communicated it to our customers, because this is certainly not a time that you want to frustrate your customers. They walk to the banking hall with huge sums of money only to realize that the banking hall has been closed. So yes, we have communicated effectively, and we have actively engaged the customers to go digital. Although we do have bullion vans that would
go around and pick this cash.
But during this pandemic, we have actively engaged our customers, retail, SMEs, corporates, to do a lot of digital transaction, a lot of paperless transaction, because digital is the way to go. And so you can make payments via your speed up without necessarily accepting cash. There are a lot of platforms that you can use. So we believe that this education has gone down well with our customers. But if our customers do insist that they still want to make payments with physical cash, yes, will make provision for them, because like I said, this is certainly not a time that you want to frustrate your customers. And gradually, I'm sure we will get everybody on board with this digital age that we find ourselves in, because you realize that there are people who are aged and they might feel a bit reluctant. It will take them a bit of time before they will come to accept these digital platforms. And digital is actually a part of the puzzle for customer experience, because if you want to make life more convenient, if you want to be timely with your transaction, then that is the way to go.
Wonderful. Let's talk about agency banking, and because I'm thinking it's one of the ways we can solve this issue of people getting to the banks. Miles, let's get to know more about, is UMB thinking of agency banking where they can get to access your basic transactions from some shops and selected companies? Do you do that, and is it possible?
Great, yeah, that's also very good. Agency banking, we've actually finished the initial test run, and in some few weeks we'll be able to fully launch our agency banking as a digital strategy. And what we are actually going to be doing is, this will be in sync with our scan and pay as a function. So we'll be able to engage partners as merchants, partners as agents, and they will be able to execute services to our customers plus any other customer who may want to walk in. So we've made it a package. So it's going to be a full digital package, and it's very, very critical on our virtual and digitization strategy. A point I also wanted to add to Henrietta's submission is we've also enhanced our transactions, payments, and collections platforms. So a lot of our corporate, SME, and retail customers, especially those who have requested for bullion services, for instance, once we know the quantum of transactions, once we know the cycle of cash inflows, etc.,
then it can
we
be picked
deploy a certain tool which would also either, it comes in two ways. We could either have a teller implant or we could have periodic mobile banking cash collections. And these are part of what we do. One good thing is because of the engagements between our retail RMs, corporate RMs, and the customers, we're able to keep track, and then we know the cycle through which we need to collect funds. So assuming this customer is a big merchant, possibly is not doing a lot of Momo transactions, but is doing more cash, we then strategize and plan with the customer to at least do strategic cash evacuations as and when required. And that at least has made a lot of customers very happy. And we know that is going to put us in the forefront when it comes to enhanced customer experience.
Wonderful. So, Maz, I would like to know what has been the role of business leaders to the customer service vision and strategy, even in the short term, and even to talk of UMB to be specific. How has leadership been supportive in this whole campaign in trying to drive a digital agenda?
Excellent. Yeah. One very, very important thing is you should have a clear strategy. And the good thing is if leadership and UMB, our leadership, have seen the vision, and for a very long time, customer experience has been on the radar. Now, once you catch at the board and management level, it's easy to cascade to the next level and then ensure that it runs through. So what often happens is it adds to the maybe like something like UMB, we have speed, for instance. So our values have been driven in line with our customer experience plan. And when you talk about speed, aside speed, passion, excellence, all these, we are looking at ensuring that in the banking hall, customers come in and they experience rapidity of service delivery. They also experience excellence. They also see that our staff are diligent. They also see that ethics is very critical. And passion is seen not just at the top level, but up to the least of the staff in there. So even if it's a security person, for instance, there's a passion with which he engages you at the front. Some places you go there, even how they check your temperature could make you feel like I'm walking away. But I can give you this assurance, visit any UMB branch, even that engagement will make you know that we are treating you like a king or a queen. You enter into the banking hall, there's a meter and greeter. She'll also at least try and engage you. And before you leave, they would have tried to cross-sell another product or service. And this is because at the top level, the management saw the critical essence of enhancing customer experience. And that went down to all staff. And there's always a way to track. So that's where Henrietta and team come in. When we have service council, for instance, any issues that have been on any customer's plate, where it has been cascaded either to a director, MD, or any of the line heads, or even anyone in the shop floor, is discussed. We look at the resolutions, and then action is taken. And at the end of the year, the staff who perform excellently are duly rewarded. And these recognitions make everyone in the team know that this is what we need to do. So I would say it's been a key driver to our success so far.
Wonderful. Also talking about digitization, what are some of the challenges you deal with on a day-to-day basis, and how have you been able to help resolve these challenges? It can be network, technical, the back end, where people are trying to initiate a transaction and they get certain kind of feedback. Yes. How have you been able to deal with some of these challenges?
Great. I would say when we pushed the speed up, it was the first time as a bank we're moving our existing interface to get customers to actually see what happens in the back end. So possibly a bank may be going through network challenges. You will never know till maybe you come into the banking hall and then maybe someone will tell you this or that. But we speed up. That is a function that should be running 24/7. So customers would be shocked when maybe he's trying to move funds from his Momo into the bank, and then there's a hindrance. Alternatively, he's trying to move funds out, maybe make a payment, a purchase, etc. And that has been our key pain point. The app doesn't rest on just our banking platform, as in core banking, but we also have other interfaces. So we are working with fintechs, we're working with the telcos, and at any point there could be network challenges. And what we are doing is we have a monitoring tool to ensure uptime is at least 95%. In instances where it drops, we quickly cascade, and then if it's necessary to send a message, which is always critical, especially when we realize it's going to take long, then we do that. Else, Hetty will be on our neck and they will have a big query. So those things we do.
Yeah.
Another aspect is fraud. And these days, like I mentioned earlier, fraud has been one of our biggest headaches, because it's not just within the bank, but in the entire ecosystem. Customers engaging fraudsters and vice versa. So all these are some of the issues when it comes to digitalization. But the strategy is, what can you do? And that's why we've gotten a very solid cybersecurity team. In terms of certifications, we've gotten ISOs, PCI DSS, all that to assure our customers that within our ecosystem, UMB is amongst the banks that is ready to safeguard your deposits.
Wonderful.
So I want to assure customers and non-customers, if you want to know where to bank, where to put your money, UMB is there for you.
Wonderful. So, Henrietta, you talk about support even in these times, and I would like to know the practical support for SMEs. Have they been given loan waiver period? Is there a moratorium where now if you are paying a certain amount, it's been reduced? Has rates dropped a bit? Has charges also been waived or dropped a bit in these times? And what is happening on, and how are you supporting SME businesses to be able to grow and become better in these times?
Okay, thank you very much, Albert. But before I specifically address the question, I wanted to add on to the role of leadership in customer experience during these times. I believe our leadership in UMB have clearly been very exemplary in terms of leading this charge, because when the year started, we did have a CX vision in mind, only for the pandemic to disrupt what the plan is. But leadership has been at the forefront, and our CEO, Mr. Benjamin Amenume, has led a crisis response team meeting on weekly basis to assess the impact of the pandemic on business, the impact of the pandemic on employees, the impact of the pandemic on customers. And we've been able to strategize and re-strategize as we go along the line. I believe in the area of retraining, that is also leadership's role. And in the past few weeks, together with the Director for Consumer Banking and the Director for Growth and Strategy, we have been on a virtual roadshow to all our 36 branches, reorienting them and helping them to know how the customer needs have changed and how we need to position ourselves. I also believe that leadership had looked at funding. I mean, because some of these things might be long-term goals, but
you have to do it now.
For instance, digitization models would have to now be treated as short-term goals, and all this will require some funding. And so the leadership of the bank has been very responsive to a large extent. And so to explain what packages that we do have for our SME customers, I believe you answered the question. We have moratorium, so we have extended loan repayments for our SME customers. We have also extended loan repayment periods, but that is based on a case-by-case basis. So we need to look at what requests you brought in, and then we will decide to get that done. And we have also relaxed a lot of our penalty charges for our customers. And like I said, we have also looked critically at the critical sectors of the economy, like the pharmaceuticals, who would need immediate support because of the COVID-19 pandemic, and we've given them priority in terms of the ability to access loans. So these are a few of the plans that we have put in place, aside engaging them and helping them to get their business practices right.
Wonderful. So Daniel on Facebook is saying, what is the interest rate on your savings account for a minimum of 15,000 cedis a month? Daniel would like to know, because he seemed to have an issue with his bank and wants to move. But I would like to know what the interest rate is looking like at UMB.
Okay. All right, great. That's a nice question, and thanks, Daniel. So come and join us. The good thing is on our website, we've actually put our tariff guide there. So I'm not going to just specify or mention the rate, but I want you to have a look at all the other components. It's actually tiered. So from 1.5 up to 4%, you would pay your figure. You would be within that range. But look at the other things we are also offering when it comes to our e-banking services, when it comes to trade transfers, when it comes to even investment rates. I'm sure you'll be looking at putting your money down for it to work for you. And if you need anywhere to do that, you can always engage us. Our lines too are very active. So you can call our contact center and we'll be more than willing to give you a lot more information. But just visit our website, www.myumbbank.com, and you'll be able to access all this information and more.
Visit the website, www.myumbbank.com, and on the site you get to see how to pay your SNIT payments, how to receive money transfer instantly in your UMB account, how to buy your AWA tickets at any of the UMB branches, get your Visa card in minutes at UMB, and also the controller loans. I want to know a bit more about the controller loans, and I'm seeing it on your site so that people who are not aware of that can take advantage of it.
Thank you very much, Albert. So in the past 1 month, we have introduced our controller loans, and that is
it's
of the
150,000.
Yes, that is the maximum amount. Yes, that you can take, and so that is one of our relief packages for our customers. It's an unsecured loan, and like you said, you can take a maximum of 150,000 Ghana cedis over 48 months. It's very easy for you to apply. You need to complete a loan application form for us. We will take your passport or any form of identification. We would also require 3 months pay slip just to confirm.
Is it possible to do the application online? Is it possible for clients to be able to push their documents through an email address or an online platform?
Currently not, but that is being worked on. And so we'll need a physical engagement and make sure that all the documentation is right.
Set.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
And once the documentation is set, within 48 hours, and that is what puts us on top in terms of the competition, the speed. Is great. So within 48 hours, your funds is credited to your account.
Wonderful.
If it's with another bank via ACH, if it's with UMB, straight into your
So Henrietta, your final words as we bring today's show to an end.
Okay, thank you very much, Albert. I've enjoyed the show so far. My final words is customer experience. There was going to be a change in 2020 and beyond. In the area of customer experience. Digitization is where to go. I can be sure that digitization will take over some of customer service roles, because the chatbot, for instance, is taking over the job of contact center agents. And so I would urge all listeners in customer service roles to upscale, to be interested in their career and be able to acquire additional skills in order to make them very marketable.
Wonderful.
And secondly, looking into the future, more organizations and brands would emphasize on operationalizing customer service. It's a cliche, it's a buzzword, and everybody is using it. But if you ask customers how many of them actually experience it, you will realize that not many people. So most organizations would look at operationalizing customer experience. So
wonderful.
That's the way to go.
Wonderful. This is the Success Africa radio program. We just have about 2 minutes to end, and we'll pick the 6 p.m. news here on Class 91.3. We are inspiring excellence. If you want to be part of the Success Africa radio show, just send us a message on 0277 556211, 0277 556211. We want to be a sponsor, a partner to the radio show, taking us to 10 regions of this country for us to have an experience with number of tertiary and young adults who wants to experience growth in every aspect of their life. Mr. Miles, we'll just give you a minute for your final words.
Sure, thank you very much. I'm going to borrow Class FM's cliche, inspiring excellence. In the same way, come to UMB and experience superior excellence. And that is how I want to end this. So in case you want to bank anywhere, just look at UMB and the team is on hand. I'm sure, God willing, Monday or this week, our Laboni branch will come and visit Class FM and then help you open as many accounts as you want.
Wonderful.
That is part of our drive to ensure you experience excellence with banking. And bank with UMB. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Bank with UMB and come and experience excellence. This has been the team from UMB talking to us. You want to experience their products and services? Why don't you log on to www.myumbbank.com? Log on to www.myumbbank.com, or on the website you get to see their toll-free line where you can get to call the customer service call agents, and they'll be on hand to assist you, help you sort out all your issues and your concerns. In these times, you are looking for a loan and you are working with any of the government institutions. Why don't you take advantage of the UMB controller loan? In 48 hours, you can get to have your money if you are able to submit all the requirements and all the needs. Up to 150,000 is available for somebody out there in need of service. This has been the Success Africa Radio program. Always bear in mind that we'll be coming your way same time next week at 5 p.m. And don't forget, coming this week, visit any of the UMB Bank branches and just tell them that you listen to the Success Africa radio program and you can be lucky to get a discount or have an experience, a souvenir or any item from the team at UMB. Let's stay in touch, and may the good Lord bless us and keep us for another week. WhatsApp us on 0500,000 202. Thank you and God bless you.
This is Class 91.3.
Yeah. Why? Samputuma putu.